Before we get into today's video, I do want to let you guys know that this video is for educational purposes only. Please remember to be kind to everybody everywhere in your everyday life, in your home, in the grocery store, and especially in the comment section down below. Please do not show hate to anybody, anywhere. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance in hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I hope you all are having an amazing day. Today's video, we're going to be talking about something that went down earlier this year over on TikTok. And a lot of y'all were asking me to talk about this topic. And there's just been so many other things that have jumped in front of it. But here we are. We're going to talk about this. And I'm trying to figure out what is going on. What is going on? So in today's video, we're going to talk about the 19-year-old TikToker who manipulated her audience, people, and different organizations out of a lot of money faking cancer. Can you believe this? And this girl, y'all, she did not just come online and say, oh my gosh, I have cancer, donate to my GoFundMe. She went all the way with it. 19 years old, okay? Posting pictures and videos and giving suggestion tips on how to get through things and making friends with other people who were going through different treatments and like leaning on them for advice, but possibly getting their experiences so she could pretend like they were on. It's just a mess. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to tell you guys about the situation. This is not going to be a super long video. And then at the end, I'm going to tell y'all my opinion. So just stay with me here. 19-year-old Madison Russo was living in Iowa when she made a TikTok account to talk about her experience with cancer. According to her, she said it was February 10th of 2022 when she was sitting in her accounting class at her university and received a phone call giving her a cancer diagnosis. Now, she would go on to say that her cancer journey actually began during the winter of 2021, just 2 years after being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
My name is Madison Russo, and this is my story. So, when my older brother Tyler turned 18 years old, he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. With this being said, I was also tested to see if I would develop type 1 diabetes. So when the test came back, I ended up being positive for all 5 out of 5 antibodies. And in February of 2020, I was also diagnosed with type 1 at 17 years old. Fast forward to February of 2022, I had yearly lab work done just with my primary care provider as a standard checkup. And aside from starting to feel just a little bit off, my lab work came back and my white blood cell counts were not in normal range. So further testing was then done. And on February 10th of 2022, quite possibly the worst day of my life occurred. I got the call from my oncologist and they found a mass on my pancreas and I had stage 2 pancreatic cancer at just 19 years old. Scared is an understatement.
And let me just stop this right here and say that for anybody that has struggled with cancer, who has cancer, who's overcome cancer, I just want to say right now, I'm sorry that we're even talking about this because I know too myself, my father just got over his cancer treatment, chemo treatment, and had 18 inches of his intestines removed and was cut from top to bottom and split wide open, organs taken out, intestines cut out, sewn back together. I mean, like he literally just went through all of this. And so for anybody that's watching this that has been through it and has to hear this story, I just want to send my heart out to you because I know it's got to be like What? Young girl, vibrant, beautiful, in college, online, connecting with the youth, connecting with parents, connecting with people that have gone through this thing, maybe connecting with people who have lost loved ones that have cancer, and people are just, they're drawn to her. She would go on to tell her followers that she only had an 11% survival rate for 5 years. Okay, so you've got these people watching her thinking that they're looking at a young woman losing her life, and she's got the best case scenario is she's got 11% chance to make it for 5 years, okay? And she's got like somewhat of a good attitude while she's talking to the camera, and people are kind of getting inspired by this story. 4 days later on Valentine's Day, Madison says that she started 15 rounds of oral chemotherapy along with 90 rounds of radiation.
So after finding out, I started treatment right away, consisting of oral chemo and radiation. So far, I have completed 8 rounds of chemo and over 50 rounds of radiation. And then at my 3-month scan, I was informed that the tumor on my pancreas was shrinking and it was responding to treatment. However, it's also spread to my blood and is acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
Okay, so you guys are following. Pancreatic, she's got this low survival rate of surviving for 5 years, okay? Then she takes her followers through this emotional chemotherapy, this grueling, radiation treatment and all this stuff that she says that she's doing. And then she comes back and says, you guys, it's responding. The tumor is shrinking, but now it's spread to my blood and I have leukemia. So the audience is like on this roller coaster with her. Then she comes back and says that they did a PET scan on her, and that's where they scanned the whole entire body. And then they found a football-sized tumor on her spine. This sounds horrible. Anybody that has a heart that was listening to this young lady say this was probably just devastated with her and for her. I mean, it just sounds terrible.
If you look at me, you would never know that I am sick. I still have hair. I can put on makeup to hide the exhaustion and the pain. And I carry myself fairly well at work and school. When you get knocked down 9 times up, you stand up 10 more times. Every single day, I go to war with myself because in order to survive, I have to fight like hell. The 5-year outlook of survival is a slim 11%. 11%. At 19 years old, I don't know if I will live to see the day when I graduate college, get married, become a mom, etc. So in the meantime, I fight. I have to be so mentally tough to battle this beast.
And to make matters even worse, throughout 2022, Madison kept going viral on social media. So she's going viral. All these people are watching. These, people are just devastated, sucked in with her. And this whole time, she's lying. Now, this is where she was showing tubes that ran into her nose with medical tape on her body. She was basically insinuating that she was being fed through a feeding tube. But this is really when people started getting a funny feeling. Okay, now you've got medical professionals that's following her journey, and things that she's saying aren't quite adding up, but who wants to tell a young woman, you lying, when they're going through all this stuff, right? Nobody wants to be that person. But when this came out right here, this is when medical professionals, and y'all are the real heroes too, by the way, started calling the police and saying, you need to look into this young girl because she's online manipulating her audience. And now she has a GoFundMe going. Okay, so she's collecting money from her audience up into the $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 because she got $37,000 where people are going to work every day, working and making their money and now donating it to her thinking that they're doing a good deed and things aren't adding up. Now, one of the things medical professionals noticed when they were looking at Madison was that this tube that she had going in her nose, it didn't even go all the way in her nose and the tape was all wonky, like it just didn't seem right. So they contacted the police and asked them to do an investigation. Detectives actually took this seriously and they began to look into this. Not only was she lying, but they realized that she was lying about all 3 diagnoses. I mean, she made straight up every last bit of it. By all counts of what we know, this is a healthy young girl that was in college that was just doing all of this stuff. And what makes it worse, again, is the fact that she was collecting money from people and communicating. You guys, when she was online speaking to the audience, you had people that were going through the same thing, or they thought the same thing, reaching out for her. They were reaching down in the pit of their own despair and trying to offer help and encouragement to her. And it was all a lie.
I'm just keeping it real. It's days like these that are hard, and I try my best to stay positive and think that, you know, after my week of chemo is done, after, round 3 is done, and I get, a break until the next round of chemo. But sometimes it's hard to think like that when you're in so much pain and discomfort, and everything is just going the wrong way. And I just have different mixed emotions, and, with my hair and stuff like that, that's obviously a big fear. Obviously, as a girl, it's, girls, like, hair is a big part of everybody's lives, but to think of the potential of losing it, or it's just kind of one more thing in the fire that is hard. So hopefully nothing else falls out, and hopefully I start to feel better.
Court documents reportedly lay out what the police say they found in Madison's apartment. She had all of these medical supplies in her apartment. She had a wig, and she had pills for nausea that weren't even hers. They were relatives' pills that she got that she was using online. You guys, investigators said that they subpoenaed Madison's medical records, and this is how they found out she didn't have and this is what I'm saying. Did none of her doctors see this? Did her mama see this? Did her dad? Nobody's seen this. Nobody, she was going viral. Then again, not everybody lives on the internet, right? Some people, they don't get on TikTok. They don't get on these different things, but I still have questions about that. And none of this became criminal, what she was doing. You can go online and lie about whatever you want to lie about. You can say you got 17 toes. It doesn't really matter, but it becomes criminal when you are collecting donations from people by lying. Now that's fraud. And she had over 400 donors. She even gave an interview to the local newspaper. Where is her mama and daddy? It's not there. I'm not saying it's their fault, but I'm trying to figure out, when you seen your daughter in the local newspaper, you didn't, as a hero, as a warrior for cancer or something, you didn't think anything? Madison was arrested on January 23rd of this year for first-degree theft, which carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison if she's convicted. She pled not guilty, and she bonded out and is due back in court in March. Now get this, the person that bonded her out of jail is allegedly the person that set up the GoFundMe account for her. So there's a lot of rumors on the internet wanting to know if that person was in on this. Was this like a tag team scheme, or was that person, manipulated by Madison as well? This bothers me so much. This isn't Alec Murdaugh we're talking about. This ain't an old man with all these issues that's just been manipulating his whole life and getting away. This is a 19-year-old girl who went to these links to do this and slept just fine at night. That terrifies me. They need to hook her up to all kind of probes, and they need to scan her brain, because that is, to me, that's scary. That is scary. Me personally, I'd rather you cuss me up and down, honey. Tell me I'm a dog, do whatever, than to be able to manipulate and lie and take money and use something as serious as this, talking to other people that are going through this, to get their money from them and smile on camera. This is the real horror story to me. That is scary. And if all of this that we're finding out, if all of this is true, she hasn't been found guilty and she's innocent until proven guilty. But if she's guilty, they need to make an example out of her. I'm sorry. This is scary. This ain't somebody, stealing some money from the drawer at work. Not saying that's right, but I'm just saying that's not somebody pocketing $20 so they can go get them some beer on the weekend, right? This ain't somebody that's working at Winn-Dixie's taking a pack of steaks home for the wife. None of this is okay. It's all theft. This is somebody that for months and months is lying and has hospital supplies and taking pictures. Y'all, Imagine. If you're doing that at 19, imagine what she's doing at 30. I don't know. I don't like it. What do y'all think? This is her first offense. She's young. She's probably going to get something simple, probation or something like that, but I don't know, y'all. In my opinion, this is the type of thing you start off and you become an Alex Murdaugh when you're older, right? When you're looking people in the face and lying to them and taking their money. I don't know. Scary. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm going to be so curious to hear y'all's opinions. Let me know what you think. I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for being here and watching this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.